Spain will continue the war in Morocco. October 2nd. $20 million is the indemnity which Spain demands of Morocco to cover the cost of the war. Spain further will insist on keeping possession of the Moorish territory, which she now holds by right of conquest. And they're saying this directly, publicly open in the paper, that they hold the Moorish territories by right of conquest. But they're saying that Morocco has to pay for the war, the damages. Late Spanish successes in Morocco have put this country in a position to demand reimbursement for the financial losses sustained through the war. It's crazy. Civil service reform. Secretary Bayard issues a proclamation showing the policy of the new administration. The weekly cabinet meetings changed from Friday to Thursday. Democratic caucus fixed the minority representation. 1885. The Secretary of State is informed of the offer of an autonomy mine to public tender by the Moorish government to be worked and the minerals exported. The mine is situated near the Mediterranean, not far from Tangier. Now, when we speak of Tangier, there is a Tangier Island over here. Competition is open until June 5th, next to all foreign powers, and the conversion is to be given to the highest bidder. The Moorish government reserving the right to reject any bid and explore the mine on its own account. The Democratic senators held a caucus immediately after the adjournment of the Senate yesterday and completed the arrangement of the minority representation of Senate committees for the 49th Congress. After adjournment of the caucus, Senator Cockrell handed the list of the minority to Senator Don Cameron of Pennsylvania, who will submit the matter to the Senate. Prominent Moorish statesman. Benefice, the representative of Moulay Hafid, the Sultan of Morocco, in the Minisman affair in Berlin, is described as a dark-skinned, black-bearded, bright-eyed man of middle age. His snow-white flowing robes made him a conspicuous figure wherever he goes. Having been asked by people with whom he became so acquainted for a portrait, he posed for one, assuming a unique attitude for the purpose. The picture shows him reclining on a divan, with his right hand holding his left naked foot, which rests on the right knee. The picture is in the strange contrast with those of his associates in the commercial affairs which brought him to Germany. And we know Noble Ali has his left heel on his right knee. The Moors. Morocco is not so hot as it is often supposed to be. The greater part of the country is near either the sea or the mountains, often both. It is only about as far south as Georgia or Louisiana. The sun is hot, of course, at midday. In a dry region where the sky is usually cloudless and the latitude is about like that of the Gulf of the United States, but the temperature in the shade is seldom extreme, that is. In the parts of the country where the bulk of the people live, south and east of the mountains on the border of the Sahara Desert, the conditions in respect to heat are altogether different, but there the population is small. The people of Morocco are fanatical Muslims, and they resent bitterly any kind of pressure to change old customs or give up old ways, but they are much less formidable than they used to be in the prime of Moorish power, especially in comparison with the conditions in the advanced countries of the earth. Cleveland Leader. Barnum's Columbus. One of the most interesting features of Barnum's Circus, which will exhibit here July 25th, will be the historical presentation, Columbus and the Discovery of America, quote unquote. In this, 1,200 characters are represented with 300 of the most expert dancers from the leading theaters of Europe. The life of Columbus is illustrated from the period beginning with his residence in Portugal. And we know about Portugal, Alfonso celebrating the defeat of the 5 Moorish families, El Beydeh, Al, and Ali, to the successful termination of his voyage of discovery. With all the principal events in the Spanish history during that time, the Spanish sovereigns Ferdinand and Isabella with their brilliant court are reproduced with real tournaments on foot and on horseback, combats, festivals, and triumphal processions. From my studies, Isabella sold and gave up all her family's inheritance and heirlooms and everything just to buy a ticket to get someone to America. The siege of the ancient cities of Baza and Granada are represented with the battles between the Spaniards and Moors. The life of the Moorish kings are accurately shown with the feasts, revelries, dances, feats, and other amusements in the famed palace of the Alhambra. The dress and the weapons of the soldiers, grandees, nobles, warriors, and cavaliers, all historically correct. The scenery, costing 75,000 notes, shows the walls, turrets, drawbridges, palaces, gates, battlements, and monuments of the old cities, while the costumes of the dancers, ladies of the courts, the nobles, priests, friars, and military, 250,000 notes. Ancient armor, weapons, crossbows, cannons, emblems, triumphal cars, chariots, and other objects cost 50,000, and the whole of the magnificent affair is of surpassing worth, wealth, and elegance. Also, I did a demonstration about flags of the Allies in regards to Portugal with the 5 shields, and then I found it again here. On the 6th of December in 1139, Alfonso of Portugal died. He was celebrated for the defeat of 5 Moorish kings at the Battle of Ourique. So the 5 Moorish families, El Bey, Al, and Ali, that's the 5 shields. But then it has the 7 castles, which are the 7 canals around the world. So we have come to completion with the Amexem Almanac.